COVID-19
We are taking that action.
of major proportions.
Declaration of an emergency.
Gatherings of more than 50 people are canceled. Recreational facilities like gyms and arenas are closed, as are entertainment venues like casinos and bars.
In the Simcoe-Muskoka County, about 300 businesses decided to take the stand and say enough is enough, and they just stayed open. To the point that the head of our health board wound up putting a public article out that they weren't going to harass businesses because they had an open sign on. So we literally caused them to back up a step. They lifted the gray back to the red within 7 days.
We got to stand up and fight against this. They don't tell us what to do, they're hired by us. And that's the empowerment that this group, who I'm so beyond proud to be part of, gave me. I hope it can pass on to others that are in my town, others that are in my region, others that are across this country. And you're seeing what's happening across the world.
Almost 300,000 businesses have gone under, that they'll never open again. I don't want to be part of that stat. I don't think we have any other choice but to now just stand our ground and fight. And especially like I'm being a restaurant in red zone, I'm allowed 10 people in a restaurant that would normally seat 74. Meanwhile, you have 20 people in one aisle at Walmart or Costco. How's that fair?
We just can't let this happen. This is not the country we know and love. And these measures are unlawful. And so it's important. We have to just say no. It's people who have to come together. They have to rise up. And if they feel that these are unjust, then they have to stand for our rights and freedoms. It's really important.
We cannot afford to sit on the sidelines anymore. It's time to take action. We've got your back, but you have to take the first step. We Are All Essential helps business owners to understand their rights and how to exercise them, how to talk to bylaw and other enforcement, and how to go about fighting fines or court summons if necessary. Most politicians and associations have not fought hard enough for small businesses, which is why we have created the infrastructure to help connect business owners with one another. And together, we are lobbying to end all lockdowns across Canada.
My everything is based on working with the individual during whatever I'm doing, whether it's a tattoo or a consultation. So for me, it was always that they really affected us because my whole point of working is with the one-on-one person.
There's no transmission, no spread from restaurants, from retail, from gyms, or from churches. But here we are closing all these places that are so critical to people's emotional, mental well-being. So you have to ask yourself, why? Why are they doing this? And why are only corporate stores and large corporations being allowed to operate?
I knew I wasn't alone. I knew there was other people out there and they just needed to see somebody do it. And so I chose to do it the specific way I did it, to be calm, peaceful, and as respectful as I possibly could, and maintain that level of calmness so that people could see, if he can do that, I can do that.
Our network is incredible at helping people understand a little bit more on the common law area as well as the Charter of Rights. So it's up to each small business owner to figure out which route they want to take and whatever is comfortable for them.
We connect our members with existing organizations and resources to fully empower themselves, whether that be legal support, media support, community support, both internally between the business owners themselves and also with Canadians across the country who are eager to support them as customers.
You have a bunch of like-minded people that are going through the struggles. It's real time. We're telling each other some of the hurdles we're in, some of the information that we're finding, some of the ways that we can sidestep or step over these hurdles, inspire each other, hold each other up, and encourage each other.
Every day, I receive messages from business owners who are at the end of their rope. Hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt with no revenue to rely on in sight. They're selling anything and everything. Some are losing their homes. They're laying off their staff. They're unable to plan ahead.
I started non-complying pretty much from day one when the second lockdown hit on the 22nd of December. Nobody and no government has a right to tell you that your business has to close. But at the same time, I won't close my doors again. I don't think anybody has a right to tell me I can't provide for my family and put food on the table for my kid.
On December 26th, we decided we were going to take a stand for February 11th with our network. And most of our clients are so supportive and loving, and I've even received more new clients in the past month than I did of all of 2020 accumulated.
You know, it is part of the Canadian Constitution that we have the right to earn a living, and no law overrides that. At the same time, I believe that people should understand that somebody who has never experienced a pay cut, a politician, is making the decision as to who is essential and who is not, with no understanding of any industry whatsoever.
At this point in time, we have over a year's worth of data that proves that these measures have caused far more harm than good. Domestic abuse and addiction are on the rise, overdoses and suicides are skyrocketing, hundreds of thousands of surgeries and screenings have been postponed, virtually all forms of preventative and natural health care have been deemed unessential. And the health and well-being of Canadians, quite frankly, has never been worse. If you've been waiting and hoping for things to change, perhaps it's time to admit we've all been played. We've all fallen for the dangling carrot trick. Ask yourself, how much longer will your business survive these rolling lockdowns and other restrictions? Are you willing to surrender to bankruptcy and forfeit all of the time, money, and energy you've put into your business? Or will you fight? Will you fight for yourself, your purpose, your family, your community, and ultimately for the rights and freedoms of all Canadians?
You know, by opening your business, you took a risk, you know, hopefully a calculated risk. But there's something about a business owner that's not willing to work for paychecks, sit in the office, being told what to do. Most business owners obviously are independent people. They're willing to take the risk. They're obviously working towards the outcome that they know they're going to be able to get. But this is something that they have to do again now. You know, the business owners again have to take a risk to a certain extent, because the measures from the government are completely unjustified. We have enough data after over a year now of all these restrictions that the lockdown was never justified from the real data. It was all based on speculation.
Contest the whole Reopening of Ontario Act, and whether it's constitutional or not, to have people, to be able for a government who's supposed to work for us, we the people, have them say we cannot open and force us with fines and bylaw, and basically use the resources of our own government and our taxpayer money to come after us and put us out of business. So we're not going to take it, we're not going to stand for it, and we are fighting them legally, and we'll see what happens in court.
There's other people like you. Get a hold of them. Some of the best ways to do it. Get involved into the communities. We are all essential, which is great. Get involved in that community. Get inspired by other people. Ask questions. We have tons of information to share. And sometimes you have to be the first person in your community to really know who's behind you. I never thought that 300 businesses in Simcoe Muskoka would have stood up, but we did. So sometimes it can be better than you think.
You know, I send emails out to my clients asking, like, if I open, would you come in? Would you defy? I think it was 80% of my clientele said, yeah, open. Now, are they all going to come in to get work done? Maybe not, because again, there is fear, and you can't force people in. But the response was overwhelming for me, just to say defy it and open.
So when I was closed but still open, or supposed to be closed, we had no trouble getting people in and out of the building. They wanted to come. People were phoning. I had tons of phone calls. We couldn't keep up because I was limited on the staff that I had in the building. So we were unable to answer all the phone calls. So it actually was very positive.
If any change is going to happen, that we have to make it happen together. So I think that's why it's so, amazing to have a platform like that where we can all come together and share.
Our mission is to reopen Canada fully. We're going to start with 1,000 businesses on April 1st, and then we're going to do 1,000 businesses in every single province and 1,000 businesses in every major city after that. We won't stop, not until we put an end to these unjustified, discriminatory, and unsustainable measures.